This morning I was gonna tour some of my front garden since I've already done my side and back, but I may end up just walking around and showing you all the flowers anyways. Anything that hasn't bloomed open or is kind of getting established, I may show a better photo of it, or any bulbs I have in the ground. I may just put a photo up on the screen. So I'll start now with, these are hydrangeas. I took one out to go to the community garden the other day, so that's what that is. I'll pop probably hydrangeas up since they're not in bloom in case someone doesn't know what they are. These are liatras. This is the gay feather liatras. They're almost done. They're going to seed now. This is a Shasta daisy. Here's some basil. He wasn't doing good where I had him, so I literally just put him in the ground a couple months back, and he's just happy growing there with little to no water around this side of the garden. So much happier where I just kind of stuck him to leave him. And here is some just cool sedum. The bees love when this blooms. That's just sticking in my rock. Let's see here. This is a rudbeckia. These are clematis. They're in pretty bad shape. That one's doing pretty good. It'll bloom soon, but the rest are pretty sad right this second. I could actually probably just show you what this one looks like. There we go. There's a red one, and then I think the other ones, there's a purple one, and then a lighter colored one. And there's a snapdragon. This beautiful rose is back in there. Oh, I forget what this is, but I want to say this is some kind of aster, just like this is an aster. And it was so funny because about 2 weeks ago, none of these blooms were here. And look at this, it all looked kind of like that, just like these beaded buds. And it just popped. It's so cool because when everything else is kind of done blooming, it's now doing its thing, and it just makes me happy when everything else is getting done for the season. This will be something nice to have in the autumn. I bought this from I think it was a museum or a master gardener somewhere around here, and it was a baby plant. Like, it may have been 8 to 12 inches tall, maybe, and I could tell, I think it had a couple shoots on the bottom, maybe like 2 to maybe 4 shoots. Look how many shoots are on the bottom of this thing, and just how huge it grew. It is so happy and just so pretty. I'm gonna definitely have to move it because it's in the middle of the full sun garden, and I'm gonna have to move this. It's just a little big for my small bed, and I want to be able to have a lot of small things. But yeah, it's big. It looks a lot like a mum, but it's not. It's an aster, and it's pretty. This is a big purple shamrock. I wish it had a bloom. It usually has white blooms, and the foliage actually usually looks a lot better when it's getting more of a full sun, but this kind of took over its sun, and that is what I presume is another aster took over some more sun. These are the zinnias I've been pulling seeds from. Gorgeous, taller than me. I'm 5'4", and these literally, let me just see if I can turn my camera around. There you go. You can see how big they got. So they're pretty much like 6-foot zinnias if they're in full sun. Some grew a little bit smaller, but these are still a good, oh my gosh, whenever I actually pull it up, because they've gotten so heavy, they're 5 foot. So these have grown to be max of 6 foot so far. This was a gorgeous coneflower. Here we go. We can see this over here. This isn't even near as pretty and mesmerizing as this plant was, but still pretty. But hey, since it's getting to be in this stage, so worn out, it's going to seed, which means seeds will be available to you guys. And look at that. That looks just like a new happy baby shoot that comes off the side. So that'll be awesome. Make sure to look out for any updates on roots. Next year I'm going to cut out and sell some roots in the mail, so if you guys are interested, go to Seed Dealer on Etsy, or maybe my site, petrabayart.com. But yeah, there's the rudbeckia, coneflower, zinnias, making sure. And there's some bee balm back here. What's sad right now, because it's also going to seed. There's another one that's completely covered and hidden, but that's all right. This is a mess over here. There's so much going on. Over here is a fire poker plant. I have 2 of them. One in red and one in the orange, I believe. Maybe yellow.
Mommy, can I come outside?
Sure. That is baby Sunny. Hello.
Mommy, I got you stickers.
Alright, and here is the perennial hibiscus. I just did a video on this, I believe whenever it was open. It's so sad looking right now because it had so many blooms in one day. Ooh, sorry Felix, I'm stepping on the cat. But right here, this will probably bloom tomorrow, if not definitely the next day, and this one's got a couple days. But yeah, they're just getting all crispy because in there they're growing a seed, so it's all right. This right here, I believe is there's a type of salvia, and it's super pretty. It smells, I don't even know how to describe it. It's not the best it smells, but the bees and butterflies love it. And I think that scent may be something that keeps it deer resistant. That may be why most salvias are deer resistant, because of their distinct smell. This one just so happens. I really wish it was blooming. It's so pretty. These are just Dusty Millers. The little girls picked one up at the store early in the season because they liked it. And that's why they're in the garden, but they've lined the garden kind of pretty. They grew big, and then they kind of, some stunted their growth, some grew bigger, so they're kind of silly in that way. These were super fun. They looked cosmic whenever I got them, and then they never came back as pretty and fun and speckled as they did before. But they're fun. They're just throughout the garden. This is a hibiscus that I've only seen open once out of all these buds that have emerged. I think, oh my goodness, and look, it's just kind of like a graveyard of these things. They just come up and then they just die off. There's so many without it opening. But yeah, I don't know. Don't know why it won't open all the way, if I'm giving it too much water, but I've tried to neglect it a little bit and not give it as much, but it still won't just open fully, except literally maybe up to 3 times I've seen it bloom. So I wished you would, but since it doesn't, you could also use, I heard, hibiscus for dyeing, natural dyeing, and I did a shirt like that yesterday. So I might end up just trying to take the petals off. Since I know it won't bloom, I won't be wasting anything. If anything, I'll be using it to its advantage if it doesn't open. This back here is a Delphinia. It's looking sad now. It was a super fun peach color. Oh, I wish I had a picture of it. I bet I do. I'll put it up on the screen though. I have a picture of it somewhere. Here's another native plant. It may be another aster also. I know for sure 2 or 3 of them this year. This is that blanket flower. Get seeds for that on the site, a limited amount. I'm waiting for it to go to seed because they're on pre-order right now. There's the coreopsis, or tickweed, whatever you want to call it. It's growing pretty big and really happy. All of this is potato vine, by the way. If anybody thought that this was fun. I cannot remember what this is, and I feel really bad because I should have left the tag on it. This is something I also got from the native plant sale, and it's so pretty. I believe these 2 are obedient plant. I think I have one that's still blooming over there. I'll show you in just a sec. I think I got a purple and a lavender, a light purple. There's a milkweed back there. Hi, look at it. It's going to pods. It's got seeds going on. Oh, let me see. Popped open. Yeah, we'll get some more. That's a little phlox back there. I think it's purple. This is a peony. See, this one's got a tag. That's cool. There we go. That's pretty. It opened once. I got it when it was clearance, half off, something like that. Here we go. There's an aloe. I'll have to show you its babies in a minute. It's aloe vera. 3 roses. I got them on a site when they were little bitty baby roots. This is their 3rd year. They've been transplanted about 2-3 times every time we moved. So they're not huge, but they are so happy. It's so beautiful. But here's the aloe, and look at this little baby. There's a baby there, and a baby there, and there's another baby and another baby. So this thing's fun. I'm gonna have to divide it and sell it soon, just because I just like to keep it in a small pot. I added some of these extra clearance ones that are they're dying at the store, and I just pick them up as I go. Don't mind spending 50 cents on those because they're super easy to try to bring back to life, and if not, I brought them back to a home where they could rest in peace, I guess. Oh my goodness, I'm so mad at myself. I don't have the tag on this, but I just got it the other day when I went to Bentonville with my mother-in-law. It looks a lot like the trumpet vine, but it's not. I'll put the name below. I know the name. I don't know why. I don't have it in my brain right now. But yeah, here we go. It's fun. It's gonna grow. It has these pretty pink flowers on it. Here's another, here's something. Here is another succulent plant. It's happy, just a clearance plant. It's sad, now it's growing good. This fell off of either it or another plant, so I've got those started to see if they'll do anything just by laying them in the dirt. These are some gorgeous little begonias. Look at that. It looks like someone has spray painted them. That shimmer or something. So pretty. These are also all available. I only have 4. They're available on the Etsy right now. Oh, they're so pretty in person. Better pictures and videos on Etsy. This is a monstera I got from a really nice friend up the road. It's doing so good. I potted him as soon as I got him, and then I actually repotted him into something bigger. Oh, he's pretty. Here is a tree lily. Let me see what kind it is. I think it's a Faya tree lily. So yeah, this thing should grow at least 5 foot, up to 7-8 foot tall. Beautiful lily. This is a wisteria. It looks, I don't know, if you guys know what happened here, let me know. All the leaves just kind of fell off of it, and it got really sad. Don't know what's up with that. I don't use any kind of chemicals or anything like that in the garden, so if you know what may have caused that, you should let me know. But it was growing so beautiful, got halfway up the column, and then kind of fell down and got really sad. And it may be just, you know, getting started on its woody base for next year. I'm not sure, but yeah, not looking too happy. But that may be what it's supposed to be doing. These are a couple roses within this, couple native cone flowers or echinacea. There's a dahlia I'm gonna have to take out. I just bought it already bloomed at the store. It was one of the splurges at the first thing of the spring. I wanted something new. It didn't do too well, but yeah, so I ended up getting bulbs, and I'll show you those in a second. This is a Mexican petunia. It's so fun. Venice, if you're ever watching that, that's my best friend. She lives in Texas now. But these are Mexican petunias. They're really pretty and purple. The blooms last just about a day before they fall off, but they always have more to come. Trees like to crawl in and back out. And then it goes on to the next one. I want to watch it come back out. There you go. And then it goes to the next one. That's so fun. So yes, Farabina, is that the plant? It is so pretty. I know I can never get pictures, so on the video it looks nothing like it in person. It is so fun and pretty. I have to put a photo up, the best one I can find. It's a very pretty plant, and I think it actually even looks really fun. I'm gonna try to use it for a dry wreath or bouquet. Look at it when it's dry. It has a nice texture, long hardy stem. It's really pretty. I don't think it would keep any of the bloom or color to it, but it's just so pretty as a texture. This is a Mesa red blanket flower. It's really pretty. It's coming to the end of its life here too, so I've been picking seeds where I can. Obedient plant, Christmas cactus, which are gorgeous. Yellow cosmos, orange cosmos. These are also a really good one for dyeing clothes. That's what this one is. I have to show you my shirt that I dyed maybe by the end of this video. It was so fun, and I'll do a video on how I did that also. There's a lavender, so pretty, needs little to no water. And this one is so fun. I cannot get a good video of this, but look how tall this thing is. It comes up to my chest. And I call it a chicken feet lavender. I can't remember what it's called, but it looks like literally chicken feet to me. And that's just a fun name to call it. It has gotten so big, and it started out, I'm trying to think, probably about the size of this right here. It was that big in the littlest pot, needing to get in the ground, and it has just gotten so huge. These are the obedient plant I was talking about a second ago. And also right here, before I do anything else, there is another spot over there, and it's just black and nothing going on. That is actually forget-me-nots. It's a beautiful flower with like the kind of like a dark and kind of lime green foliage, a lot like that, a little darker. Really pretty. I hear it can be invasive if it goes to seed and falls. I couldn't get the seeds off. It was just kind of a challenging one for me when it came to that, so it kind of died off. But I heard that that's okay, and so it must be, maybe it's an annual but perennial because it does seed itself. Another lavender, but this is the obedient plant. Look how pretty that is. Almost looks like a foxglove. Oh, there's a bee that just needed to come pollinate. That was so funny. Obedient plant, yeah, it looks kind of like a foxglove kind of thing, but really small, super pretty. Little blooms. It's obviously a good summer bloomer, so that's nice. It was put in not that long ago. Got it in super small. It's already looks like it has about 6 or more shoots. Yeah, at least 6. Oh, I see more on the bottom. Yeah, it's got 8 shoots. I think I bought it when it was 2-3 shoots. So it's doubled in size just from the month it's been in the garden. This is my ornamental peach tree. I'll show a picture of what that looks like in the video. It's a gorgeous tree. Back there I need to desperately weed, just by the way. I made the mistake of putting in rubber mulch. I thought it would be a good idea, something that would last a little longer. I wouldn't have to put out regular mulch as much. And I realized that with whatever I did there, put in all those asters, that it really took up a lot of space in the garden. And so I will eventually have to move those things, and I've already moved a lot of things or transplanted them over to other gardens. That whenever I do that, this rubber mulch, when I dig the hole, it gets stuck in those holes, and I have to, you know, take the time to pull them out, which isn't a big deal, but I don't want any to just get stuck over time in the garden. So I am going to rake that out and probably put it to the curb for somebody just for free to get rid of it. But I definitely want to, I'll have a lot of pine needles from a pine tree next door to me. There'll be lots of pine needles that I'll put down instead, and that'll break down and just be a lot better. This is a humongo pentstemon. It's so big that it just fell over. It's its first year. Came as a very small plant. And as you can see, it's just huge. It probably, a reason why it fell over too is because I have the hose over here and it may have, you know, bumped it, but it's laying on the ground, so I'm gonna have to figure that one out next year. But look at these happy, gorgeous little plants. Oh, and there's a little caterpillar on him. He's so pretty though. This is another one of those sedums. I'm gonna find it and put its name up. I don't know why I can't think of it. And there's the citrus tree, just by the way. Since the tag's on the ground. These have been growing for a while. Splurged on this tree, spent about 70 bucks on it. But whenever I got it, it was so beautiful. It had leaves all over it, and it had these jasmine smelling white flowers all over it. It was so gorgeous, and I kept it inside for a while. And it actually got really sad for a little bit, but I think it's because wherever they came from, it wasn't meant to be in Oklahoma and deal with some of the cold that spring could bring. So I had it outside, then I brought it inside for a while. It lost a lot of leaves. Each one of the blooms fell off and left behind some of these lemons that are still doing their thing. But yeah, it is the end of summer, and I got this in the spring. So seeing what he's doing, but he's definitely got these cute lemons growing, which is nice. I am so here and there, so sorry. But yeah, this thing, the bees go crazy over it. They're not out this morning, but yesterday they were just swarming all over it. And so that's good. This is just a little ground cover like sedum. I think that's a rose one back there, a rose kind of sedum. Yeah, like I said, because I put in also the rubber mulch, I just got a little sad about the garden, kind of frustrated with knowing I need to come and get all the rubber, but I need to get over myself and get in the garden and just weed. There's lots of, what you call it, sorry, I was gonna say vines for something. Geez, the word's not coming to me. Clematis, wild clematis coming in too in the garden. I'll show you a picture of what that looks like around town. It's growing so big. Here's let's see, another, yeah, back there is, I had Icelandic poppies. Not sure if they'll come back. I think if they seed themselves they might, and bachelor buttons. I think they come back. I think they're perennial. Here is a rose. I got it when it was a itty bitty, just a tiny stick. And my kitty Felix, oh my gosh, it's got a new cane. I'm so happy. My kitty Felix laid on it and broke it in the back, and it was getting hardly any sun at all. And literally when he snapped it, it was this big. And so I moved it about 2 months ago, and look how big it is. So when something's getting small, don't feel bad about, you know, having to move it, because it's almost dead. I might as well leave it where it is, see if it makes, no, you can always, you know, look up what type of sun it takes, if it's in too much sun, too little sun, because you can always save the plant that you've put in its bad condition. Or, you know, even if you see one at the store, don't feel like the clearance ones aren't worth saving either. This is a forsythia. This is a big fella. Got him, he was only a couple sticks big. He is huge now. I gotta figure out where he's going, or just figure out when to prune and how short I can go, and if there's any type of, seems like the whole thing may be sort of a woody base, so yeah, just gotta figure out how to cut them. I think these are pretty resilient, easy to grow from clippings. So even if I did need to cut it pretty short, it'd be nice. But it has the prettiest yellow blooms. I'll show that up on the site. This is a little blue Atlas cedar tree. It's cute. Bought it when it was super tiny, because trees can be really expensive, and didn't have money for an expensive tree. So yeah, if you buy them when they're itty bitty babies, I honest to goodness think he's gonna grow ginormous. So maybe reconsidering where I put these Might have to move them, but that's okay. More coneflowers, different colors. I'll just flash some up of what colors these are. I think I have a pretty orangish yellow, a yellow one, white one, another orange one, teddy bear, a few different types. These right here are daylilies. I just transplanted these back in November when we moved into this new house. They got transplanted from the old house, so they didn't bloom this year. And I want to say I got them from a lady, and they didn't bloom last year or the year before that I got them. I can't remember how many years ago, but I think I got it the year before last, and they didn't bloom then. So crossing my fingers that they do something next year. If not, they make cute foliage, but I might take them out just to get something else going, or if I can replace it with a clearance plant, I won't feel bad about it moving or going to a new home. Maybe it just needs more sun or a different type of soil that I don't have for it, so it'll make someone else happy. Here are, that's a phlox again. These are canna lilies. I believe one is white and the other one is a burgundy. Very pretty. This is another delphinium. Pretty color. They're just fun. They've actually lasted quite a long time, by the way. Got it in spring. And it's still kind of blooming. It's not in full bloom like it was, but it's definitely a spring summer fellow there. This is morning glories. They're growing on, just anything when they get a sec. Wish they had a picture of them open, but he's super pretty. Most people know what they are. They're old-fashioned type plant. Look at this, and we can just see if we can get him going over here. Whoop. This is a dahlia. It's not doing too hot. It's the first year of me trying them. I actually heard that these are really good for dyeing, the natural dye. So I'm actually gonna cut her later and see if I could use it. They say if you cut the blooms whenever they show up, also with the dahlias, it's first year, it's good to cut that because when you cut them the first year, that just puts more energy to the bulb and won't waste the energy on making the flower bloom. And I'm gonna try something out too with dahlias. I'm in zone 7, so it can get really cold, and obviously into the negative temperatures too around here. I'm gonna try to keep one in the ground, and I got lots of others that are in pots over here, and I'm just gonna try different ways of sticking maybe some of this is a pink pampas grass, by the way. Very pretty. Gotta find a place for it soon because it is sad when I got it, and it's sad now, so gotta put it in soon. But these other dahlias, this one's finally growing a little bud. They haven't done too hot here. They grow so big, but I bet I've had out of the, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, at least 7, 8, 9, 10 or more plants. They haven't just bloomed yet, and it could just be early. I put them out mid-spring though. I should have definitely done them earlier. So that's probably a big part of my problem. But I think I got them all dinner plate dahlias because I just wanted to see a big flower. Whenever I saw them, I just knew, oh, I want a few of those. So I bought them all the tubers. And so, yeah, I don't want to have to deal with digging tubers out of my, what is pretty solid clay yard dirt. Yeah, I put these in these pots, and I thought I could just cut them down when it's time and stick them in the garage, maybe some even in the house where it's warmer, and see how they do best. And I will let you know about that because dahlias are fun. Oh, look, this one's actually playing a little peekaboo. It's doing a little something. That's exciting. I'll definitely take a video if it blooms because it is rare for me at least. It's a butterfly bush growing from a little bitty stub of a baby. It's a little transplant rose saving, doing so much better since I moved in. These are iris. There's more iris throughout here. Lots of lilies like stargazer. I think this one's an obedient plant, very big. Tons of babies and shoots down there. These are perennial hibiscus. And a lot of these right here were bags of bulbs that I bought in bulk. So they were anywhere from $1/4. Each one of these that came up were just about $1/4. And the iris were here when I moved in. I just cut them into a bunch of different sections because they're so resilient that I thought, oh, if I just cut them, I'll have all these plants, and pretty much just plan on turning around and selling them next year, because that was pretty much all my garden except for boxwood trees. And that was the first thing. That's the first thing I told my husband for Christmas. I just want you to take out all the boxwood trees, because they were literally around the garden. And then she had tons of iris. The lady who lived here before had lots of iris that just desperately needed to be thinned. So I put them in a bunch of pots, and we'll just give them away, or sell them, I mean, whenever the time comes. There's another, this one got out of the garbage. It's a Shasta daisy. It came out of the trash just at Lowe's. So a few of these are trash plants, we call them. Instead of transplants, they're trash plants, but that's fine. And then, yeah, the dahlias came from tubers that were on sale for maybe $1 a piece, and I got about 10 of those. It's really expensive to have a garden, and I don't know exactly what I want yet. So I like the idea of buying stuff or bringing it back to life, and I don't know what I'd do if I just had a set garden with the same thing, and that was just going to be it. I like the idea of switching it around, figuring out what I really like and what I don't like. And I can grow it and just kind of give it away, sell things, trade things. These ones a lot of these come from garden sales that are around town. I think these hibiscus were all $2 a pop. Phone dies in 2 seconds, so I wanted to say goodbye. See you later.